Did you know the US military once tried to control the weather as a weapon of war? That's right. In the thick of the Vietnam War, a classified operation was set into motion. Codenamed Operation Popeye, it was a project unlike any other in the annals of military history. Its objective? To manipulate the weather itself. Imagine this: a military force that could command the clouds to pour down rain at its whim. The US military aimed to do just that, targeting specific areas of Vietnam. The reason? To disrupt the enemy's supply routes, to turn the very elements against them. This was a time when the boundaries of warfare were strained, pushed, and sometimes even shattered. Operation Popeye, shrouded in secrecy, was a testament to this new era of conflict. It was a venture into the uncharted territories of weaponized weather. Intriguing, isn't it? The thought of manipulating the weather as a tool of warfare. So, how did this audacious idea come to life? Well, it all began with a proposal by Jack Anderson, a man with an inventive mind and a belief in the power of weather as a weapon. He saw the potential of manipulating the weather to disrupt enemy supply lines and operations. In 1966, the idea was put to the test. Under the watchful eyes of the 54th Weather Reconnaissance Squadron, the powers that be initiated a testing phase. This period was primarily utilized to assess the feasibility of using weather manipulation as a strategic tool in warfare. After the trial showed promise, the operation officially kicked off in 1967. The 54th Squadron, the unsung heroes of this clandestine operation, were tasked with carrying out the mission. Their goal? To seed the clouds over the Ho Chi Minh Trail, creating torrential rain and turning the enemy's main supply route into a quagmire. And thus, Operation Popeye was set into motion, a weather manipulation program unlike any other. Now let's delve into how Operation Popeye was actually executed. Operation Popeye was a marvel of scientific ingenuity and military strategy. At its core, it involved manipulating the weather to gain an upper hand in the Vietnam War. The primary method used was cloud seeding, a process where substances like silver iodide were dispersed into the air to stimulate rainfall. The basic idea was that by boosting the amount of precipitation, the US military could turn the Ho Chi Minh Trail, a key supply route for the enemy, into a muddy, impassable mess. The operation was concentrated on the eastern and southeastern areas of Laos, where the Ho Chi Minh Trail snaked its way through the dense jungles. The goal was simple: flood the trail, disrupt the enemy's supply lines, and bog down their movements. The US military hoped that monsoon-like conditions would create enough chaos to give them a strategic advantage. And it wasn't a small-scale endeavor by any stretch of the imagination. Over the course of 5 years, from 1967 to 1972, the operation saw a staggering 2,600 flights. Each flight dispatched a cargo of cloud-seeding agents into the atmosphere, seeking to turn the skies into a weapon of war. But despite the scale, Operation Popeye was shrouded in secrecy. The US military didn't want the world to know they were dabbling in weather warfare, a practice that raised many ethical questions. The mission was so clandestine that even those involved in the operation were given limited information about its true nature. Nonetheless, the operation ran its course. The skies over the Ho Chi Minh Trail opened up, unleashing torrents of rain on the jungles below. But did it truly give the US the upper hand they sought? That's a question still hotly debated among historians and military strategists. For 5 years, Operation Popeye sought to drown the enemy's strategies, quite literally. But every action has its consequences. What were the ramifications of Operation Popeye? In the early 70s, a cloud of controversy began to form over Operation Popeye. The covert operation was disclosed to the public in 1971, sparking widespread debate and outrage. The revelation that the United States military had been manipulating the weather as a tool of war raised significant ethical questions. This was no ordinary military strategy, after all. This was the force of nature, harnessed and repurposed for warfare. The rain, once just a symbol of life's ebb and flow, had been weaponized. And this weaponization didn't just raise eyebrows, it raised serious concerns about the potential for future misuse of such power. The controversy surrounding Operation Popeye did not merely dissipate like the clouds it had sought to create. Instead, it led to concrete action. In 1977, the world came together to pass the Environmental Modification Convention. This international treaty explicitly banned the use of weather manipulation for hostile purposes. With the stroke of a pen, the world made it clear: the weather was off limits for warfare. The skies could no longer be weaponized. The power of the storm could no longer be harnessed for destruction. This was a significant step forward in the ethics of warfare, a step prompted by the fallout of Operation Popeye. Yet despite the ban, the legacy of Operation Popeye cannot be easily erased. The operation stands as a testament to the lengths that warfare can push the limits of innovation. It's a stark reminder of the fine line between innovation and ethical transgression, a line that we must be ever vigilant not to cross. Operation Popeye remains a stark reminder of the lengths to which warfare can push the boundaries of ethics and innovation.